To give context to my examples, I'll briefly summarize Pulp Fiction. Two hitmen, Jules Winfield and Vincent Vega, are out to retrieve a briefcase stolen from their employer, mob boss Marcellus Wallace. Marcellus has also asked Vincent to take his wife Mia out when Marcellus himself will be out of town a few days later. Butch Coolidge is a boxer who double-crossed Marcellus by failing to throw a fight after accepting a bribe from Marcellus. Butch plans on fleeing the city but can't leave his father's watch behind. These three situations will serve as my examples for the theories of emotion and motivation. We'll start with the scene where Jules and Vincent retrieve the briefcase stolen from Marcellus. To do this, the hitmen confront Brett, who was responsible for stealing the briefcase.
Oh, you were finished? Oh, well, allow me to retort. What does Marcellus Wallace look like?
What?
What country you from?
What?
What ain't no country I ever heard of? They speak English and what?
What?
Describe what Marcellus Wallace looks like.
What?
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you.
As you can see, Brett stutters, trembles, and is visibly fearful throughout the confrontation. We can explain Brett's fear in different ways using the theories of emotion. Our first theory is the James Lange theory, which states that emotion depends on physiological arousal caused by external events. It's basically the idea that to feel emotion, we must first feel bodily responses like increased heart rate, shaking, increased respiration, and sweating. According to this theory, Jules throwing the table and yelling at Brett causes Brett's physical responses like sweating and shaking, which then triggers Brett to be fearful. The Cannon-Bard theory, on the other hand, suggests that we experience emotions and physiological reactions simultaneously. According to this theory, Brett trembles and is scared at the same time, instead of feeling scared because he trembled, as in the James Lange theory. Our last theory of emotion is the two-factor theory, which is the idea that emotions consist of both physiological and cognitive processes. When physiological arousal occurs, you label the stimulation and then experience the emotion. Your cognitive labeling of the emotion is what allows you to feel the emotion. This theory would suggest that Jules throws the table and yells at Brett, causing Brett to tremble and sweat, which Brett identifies as physical signs of fear. This identification allows Brett to feel fear. The theories of social motivation are best exemplified in the Jackrabbit Slim's Twist contest, otherwise known as the famous dance scene with Mia and Vincent.
Ladies and gentlemen, now the moment you've all been waiting for, it's a world-famous Jackrabbit Slim's Twist contest. Now this is where one lucky couple will win this handsome trophy that Marilyn here is holding. Now, who will be our first contestants?
Right here. Want to dance? No. I do believe Marcellus, my husband, your boss, told you to take me out and do whatever I wanted. And now I want to dance. I want to win. I want that trophy. So dance good.
In this scene, Mia is motivated to dance for multiple reasons. One is because she wants to win the contest and the trophy. This is an example of achievement motivation, which is the idea that people are motivated by their desire for accomplishment. Another reason Mia is motivated to dance in the contest is simply because she likes to dance. The fact that she later dances alone in her living room, even when there is no contest to win, shows that she is not only motivated by achievement, but that she is also intrinsically motivated. Intrinsic motivation is performing an action for its inherent satisfaction or because you enjoy the activity itself. It is clear that Mia genuinely enjoys dancing. Vincent, however, does not enjoy dancing and is extrinsically motivated by Mia. Extrinsic motivation is the desire to perform a behavior to receive promised rewards or avoid threatened punishment. Vincent is only dancing in the contest because Mia wants him to, and since Mia is his boss's wife, he risks getting in trouble or potentially fired if he refuses. Thus, Vincent is extrinsically motivated to dance to avoid punishment. Butch Coolidge is a prime example of motivation, as he is potentially the most motivated character in the movie. First of all, Butch's boxing is an example of the arousal theory of motivation. The arousal theory states that people are driven to their behaviors to maintain optimal physical arousal. This is basically the idea that people do things for the thrill of it. As someone who is a professional boxer because he enjoys the thrill of the fight, Butch embodies this theory. Additionally, Butch is the epitome of the incentive theory of motivation. The incentive theory is the idea that our actions are inspired by a desire to gain outside reinforcement. It's the concept that behavior is motivated by incentives. These incentives often drive us to do things we would not typically do. Butch's story is based on such an incentive, his father's gold watch.
After the war was over, he paid a visit to your grandmother, delivering to your infant father his dad's gold watch. This watch was on your daddy's wrist when he was shot down over Hanoi.
This watch, a valuable family heirloom and Butch's most prized possession, is an incentive that motivates Butch to return to his apartment. This is significant because, if you recall, Butch just double-crossed Marcellus Wallace, who has sent hitmen to stake out his apartment. In other words, the gold watch is an incentive that motivates Butch to walk straight into the face of imminent danger. After arriving at his apartment, Butch retrieves his watch. When his apartment appears to be empty, Butch assumes that none of Marcellus's men are waiting for him and grabs a Pop-Tart. This behavior is an example of the drive reduction theory of motivation, which states that motivation originates from biological needs such as hunger. Butch, who had not ate breakfast, grabbed the Pop-Tart to satisfy his hunger. Our final theory is the humanistic theory of motivation, which is the idea that humans are driven to achieve their maximum potential and will always do so unless obstacles are placed in their way. Abraham Maslow developed a famous pyramid called the hierarchy of needs that describes this theory. The most essential human needs, physiological needs, and safety needs are on the bottom of the pyramid, and higher level needs, like needs for love, high esteem, and self-actualization, are on the top. According to Maslow, we must satisfy lower level needs before we can satisfy higher level needs. In other words, we can't focus on higher level needs like achievement and respect without lower level needs like food, water, and sleep. Maslow also believed that as we work toward achieving the top of the pyramid, things get in the way that slow us down and knock us back to the bottom of the pyramid. Now back to our example. Throughout his story, Butch's needs are mainly lower level needs. This is because his run-ins with Marcellus consistently threaten Butch's safety and physical well-being, preventing him from addressing any higher level needs. Even at moments when Butch has addressed his lower level needs, Marcellus is there to knock him back to the bottom of the pyramid.
Girl, you'll be a woman soon. I love you so much.